Hello and welcome, this is Rooflemonger, and today we have another tips and tricks guide, this time for the Black Panther, one of the new DLC characters from Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. So as usual, we're going to be going over his moves, covering them a bit in depth, especially the wall cling, we're going to be covering that quite a bit in depth, and some other nicks and knacks. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Now, to start with the command normals, first off we have the slash claw, so that's just forward fierce punch. So you see here, it takes a nice little lunge forward, so it's got some range to it. The move is overhead, however, unfortunately, there is nothing you can do to naturally combo after the hits, other than just go to raw super. So if you are just tossing this out to fish for the overhead and you want to get your maximum potential, you absolutely, after doing it, must tag into your partner so they can get some sort of combo after it. Because Black Panther can't get anything past just the raw super afterwards, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now, for the next command normal, I want to talk about the Wild Arch. So just forward fierce kick, 2 hits. There's a gimmick to it, and I'm going to go into it more when we get to the Predator Arch special move. But it's a fairly important gimmick, so just watch out for that one. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Now, the last one is just down forward fierce kick here. It's kind of a lunging sweep kind of move here. You're never really going to do it raw. Like, the most desperate you'd be is like, do it raw and try to catch them like that. But what it is, for the most part, for at least as far as your damage goes, it's effectively your third fierce in the chain, because it is a fierce attack that does fierce attack damage. So you kind of treat it as you get one more fierce attack in the chain. Plus it works great with the Rekkas, because since it leaves them airborne here, you can get combo opportunities you normally can't while the foe's grounded, so there's no follow-up possible here. But if we launch them, and then do a Rekka, we can get some sort of airborne combo afterwards. Alright, so first, to mention the Rekkas for the special move. So it's also called Chain of Hunting in game. And if you're not familiar with the term Rekka, it's the term that comes from Fei Long in Street Fighter. Simply put, it's just a special move that has multiple follow-ups. So one thing to note quick before we get any further in detail here, let's set on our guard. If you go for all the follow-ups here, it is very unsafe on block. So please at least tag in if you're going to go for the whole thing. And if not, you better make sure if it hits if he's the only character standing, because you're going to get blown up. And now the other thing to note here, let's turn on damage, is there's a heavy punch and a fierce punch version here, and the starters are different in that they do different amounts of damage. So, but it's not always better to start with the fierce punch version. So let's say here, quick example, and let's not botch it. So with that, we can get a follow-up. But the heavy punch version, we're not going to get nothing no matter what. So it's always combo dependent, and sometimes, you know, the heavy punch version is the only version that works, and vice versa, and you're really going to have to test these out. But just to get back into it, so there's follow-ups, and they're completely fully interchangeable no matter what you do. So you can do like heavy punch and do light follow-ups. You can do the light punch version and do heavy follow-ups. You could do light, and then do a heavy, and all the points in between. So, main things to note here is the end of the light chain is ground bounce, or sorry, leaves you in an OTG state, which you can follow up here. And the fierce chain ends in true ground bounce, there we go. And it's a bit difficult mid-screen to follow up on it. Corner's very fine, obviously your partner can always get it no matter what. But these are basically the party starters. This can be your almost any conceivable combo with Black Panther. You're going to be using this chain in that combo. So get used to it and try to figure out which is your more optimal routes. Because if you can get the fierce starter, always go for it, because more damage is always more better. But you're going to have to figure out how to go. Generally, the light punch version ender, you're probably going to use that at least once in the combo. And just so you know, you're going to have to probably practice your dash timing, because it's a bit tricky. Because it splats them a bit far away, so you're going to have to dash in. See here, I just completely whiffed there. So there you go. So that is one thing you're going to have to unfortunately practice quite a bit. In the corner, it's not as difficult, because, you know, you're going to be right beside them. But yeah, you're going to have to probably practice that dash timing. Mid-screen, the fierce punch ender is honestly not as desirable most of the time. You're definitely going to want that light punch ender. But in the corner, depending on your combo and all that, and depending on who is your partner, you could find something useful for it. Now, to mention the Predator Arts, this is a combo fodder move, but it's critical combo fodder, because you're going to use it in almost every single combo. It's a quarter forward, either kick. It does have an arrow K version as well. And it does have an ender, and the ender is exactly the same as the Rekkas. So that's the light punch version, and see here it creates that OTG OK state. The heavy punch finisher is the same as the heavy punch finisher for the Rekkas. So in and of itself, the main thing here I want to mention, we did talk very briefly about the command normal here for Fierce Kick, and it has a gimmick. So here's the gimmick. In between the first and second hits, your airborne state. So right here, you see here, I managed to hit that Predator Arts, but it did not rise. See, the ground version, it rises up, versus the more horizontal version of the aerial. So I did the aerial version. So as you see here, I botched it right there. So there is timing. You're gonna have to practice this a little bit. Even I don't got it perfectly by shape. And from there, you can go into wall cling canceling, which is gonna have this whole section here. But yeah, you want to use this as fodder to combo, and you got to get that timing down. And with that, you're using the airborne version, and then you can get the wall cling cancel down and keep your combo going. Now, just so you know, you can only do so many reps of this in a combo. If you just do it straight, you're only gonna get 2 reps, and it's gonna fall out after anything past that. So generally, you're only gonna use one of them in a combo, unless you manage to get them airborne or something like that. But it's like I said, it's just critical combo fodder. You're going to be using almost all your combos, and you're probably going to use it with the wall cling and the little technique here with forward fierce kick to get the optimal, just like 1 millimeter off the ground air version. So it's just something you're going to have to learn to live with, because it's fantastic and it's a big part of the offense. Now, Black Panther also has a special move called Panther Bite, and it's an uppercut style looking move. Now, one thing, please note here, this move, despite looking like an uppercut, is in no way, shape, or form invincible in any way. You're not going to get through anything, so don't use it like you would use a Ryu, Shoryuken, or anything like that, because you're not going to be beating up moves. Now, well, that's unfair to say, so you absolutely can beat up moves, like, you know, if you call a jump or something like that, or an arc where you can hit, you will still get them. But be aware that it does not afford any invincibility, so it's not going to be brain dead. You got him dead to rights. You got to use proper spacing, proper timing. So that said, and unfortunately I don't really have any combos to show, but it's very good for wall cling comboing. So you see here, we can do something like this and try to get a follow up here. I'm not really practicing in any way, shape, or form, but there we go. We get something like that. Because it is wall cling okay. But now, to also add another caveat, so we're going to turn block back on here. If the move is blocked, there will be no wall cling possible. So you can't just toss it out and wall cling away your problems, because that's not going to work. You got to make sure it hits to get any kind of wall cling follow up. Now to go on to the supers, so first we have Hazard Zone, that's the punch super. So this move is invincible. So he's in the lucky club that has invincible startup supers. Now, not only does it come with all the bells and whistles being invincible, which is super useful, it also has a comboable state here. So you see here, we're gonna do it here, and Thanos is gonna spin out. So he will recover in the air after a little bit, but depending on your partner, and you're gonna have to find a partner to make the most use of this, you can totally get a follow-up, as you can see there. So invincible supers that are follow-up or K are basically the best kinds of supers in the game. It's really, like, it's very low risk because you always can tag out and make it safe on block afterwards, and it's almost all upside and reward if it connects. So that is the best kind of super, and Black Panther is very fortunate to have exactly that. So if you feel pressured, just toss it out, and, you know, gets blocked, oh well, tag out, make it safe, you burned a bar, but not the worst thing in the world. And if it hits, that's great, combo time. It's fantastic that it has it, and by virtue of having it, it's basically his best. So Sudden Death is his most damaging level 1 super with a caveat. So we see here damage, 3,400 in total. You know, not too bad for level 1. So we're going to set the photo jumping. I don't want to do a combo because it'd scale the damage. And now, no, it did 3,450, so it did 50 more. And we got our timing just down, which probably won't. There we go, let's try it one more time. There we go, now 3,550. So the higher up the foe is in the air, the more damage you're going to get. So it's kind of difficult to get an optimal combo off situation, because the only reliable way to get it is to combo off the uppercut, and usually it has to be the first hit, so you have to do something to get him off the ground, uppercut, cancel that first hit, and then go into it from there. So at the end of a combo, it's incredibly difficult to keep that scaling down, the hit stun decay. So it makes it drop unless you're like frame perfect, and I'm not a big fan of ending with this for that reason. If you can get it, by all means go for it as your ender, because you will get more damage. But just in terms of the average human and reliability, I'd say just forego the couple extra points of damage, go for the punch super, and just leave it there. Now, Air Interceptor, and untrue to his name, just so you know, because it's totally on the ground, is going to be one of your main combo enders for one important reason, if you didn't already catch it right there. In that, it creates a wall bounce state that your partner can totally follow up with. So, it is a bit tricky. Most of the time, if you're going to use it as a combo ender, you're probably going to use the uppercut. Now, be very, very aware that you only get that wall bounce state if all the hits connect. And it's very possible, depending on your timing, if you have unfortunate timing, to not get all the hits. So I managed to get here, so let's purposely try to botch the timing. So here, I completely whiff, so that's no good. And depending on the angle, there we go, we only got one hit, and then the combo's going to drop at that point, so that's no good. So you have to practice your timing on that matter. But if you got the corner, it's probably going to be your most efficient combo ender, because that wall bounce, as long as you didn't burn it somehow with a partner or something, because he doesn't really wall bounce on his own too well, it's going to be, at the very least, create a setup, because, you know, at high hit stun scaling at the end of the damage of the combo, you're not going to get any big follow-ups or nothing, but you can create like a reset or a setup or some sort of gimmick. So it's going to be one of your more favorable ways to end the combo in the corner, because that wall bounce setup can open up all sorts of opportunities, and that's going to be really fun to work with as we explore the character. Now, for the level 3, it's not really much to say about it. It's kind of bog standard, not much range. It is invincible startup, so it's got no real use outside of ending a combo if you really need an extra bit of damage or if you feel really desperate and pressured. But then again, even the level 1 is invincible, so if you feel desperate and pressured, you should probably go for that instead. Looks cool, you know, that's great. But otherwise, in all standards, it's just, you know, bog standard level 3.
The weight on my shoulders gives me strength.
Alright, so now for the wall cling. First thing before we get the fancier stuff like wall cling canceling, if we have a look at the move list, it says wall cling in air okay, and it is. And it says during wall cling, hit a button. So that doesn't really help you appreciate how much buttons matter in wall cling, and even during the start of it. So we're going to start grounded here. This is light kick, so we go to the wall, right? Heavy kick, you see, completely different angle, much more steep angle. And now we're going to do it in the air, light kick, straight to the ground, hit the wall, and if you're already at the wall, steep angle downwards till you touch the wall. Now if we do it heavy kick, exactly perpendicularly across. So we can even say, do a big old jump, whoa, and go right to the wall, right? So wherever you are in the air is the angle you're going to get the heavy kick from. So if you're almost scraping the ground, you know, if you're near the top of a super jump, that's where we're going to go. Now once you're already on the wall, your button press still utterly matters. So we're just going to use here max screen heavy kick. So actually, let's try it even better. We're going to super jump and then use the heavy kick version. There we go. Create a better angle idea. So that's light punch. Now have a look again here at the angle. So we get about mid screen and then bounce off. Now we're going to do light kick. Now see here, we just bounced off Gamora. So the angle is less shallow than the light punch version. So next we're going to try heavy kick. And we just cleared her head. So each angle here, and not going to be a shocker, we're going to do heavy punch. And we're just totally above her head now. So in order of light punch, light kick, heavy punch, the angle is slightly higher and higher and higher for the descent. So if you're like 1 millimeter off the ground here, you're going to bounce off the ground no matter what. Like, your button press ain't going to affect that too much. But the higher up you are, and obviously the higher it starts up, the more that button press matters, as you can see here. Now, for wall cling canceling, I did make a video about this already, but for completion's sake, just have everything in this one video. The big thing is, once you touch the ground, is hold down, and you stay down. So we're going to use this in conjunction here with the quarter circle forward kick move, and we're going to use that technique I mentioned earlier about getting the airborne version on the ground. This guy right here. So what we're going to do that, and we're going to wall cling right after it. So normally, we bounce off the ground and go to the wall. So we're going to hold down, and we stay in place. So we get a combo here. We're going to just hold down, then jab, and then go for a combo. As you can see here. So that is the essence of the wall cling cancel. So we obviously do it off the uppercut as well. So we don't want to touch the wall. So what you're going to do, the wall bounce, hold down. And then we obviously recover as soon as we hold down. So you can let go right away, jump back up, and get a follow-up from there. That's basically the essence of wall cling canceling. Now, how to create an offense from the wall cling. So with that, as we mentioned here about all the angles and stuff, you're going to have to really know your angles. So say here we got Gamora like kind of mid-screen here, and we wall cling. So from here, light punch, we stay same side, but light kick, we can manage a cross up. And of course, you know, we won't probably do the aerial version because this jumping punch here is one of the better jumping punches in the game. It has such an easy cross-up hitbox, so we're just going to try it once again here. So wall cling, light punch, same side, and light kick, we get a cross-up. And obviously, you know, from there, you get a combo. So your foe is probably not going to let you stay still and, you know, do that from mid-screen. Like, that's not going to happen, right? But say, let's turn on guard here. We have a partner here has some sort of super that holds him in place fairly well. So we tag out, and from there we can get all sorts of like left, right cross-ups and all that kind of business from that. And of course, you know, we can also go for the standard like overhead low while they're blocking. But anything that can like hold them in place is a fantastic part to get that wall cling offense going. And like make them guess, you know, what side may be on, then if you land, then, you know, the overhead low and like all that kind of stuff. Now keep in mind, if the foe is cornered, there's nothing you can do with the wall cling to force them out of the corner. It's always going to hit same side, so that's not going to work. So we have come to the end of our video guide right now. I feel a little bit bad in that I know there's so much more wall cling stuff I could that's going to be out there in time. I just don't know it right now, and maybe it's not discovered just yet, but there will be stuff in time, I guarantee it. Of the 3 DLC characters, I 100% believe he has the most untapped potential that's currently out there. He's not very obvious like Monster Hunter. With wall cling stuff, I guarantee you in time there's going to be all sorts of resets, mix-ups, some weird 50-50 guess what side stuff. It's just not out there just yet. But in like even a month or less, there's probably going to be an explosion of this kind of stuff as people explore the character. But I feel he's critically like just not I won't say not explored because people are obviously trying, but there's going to be so much more for him out there and hopefully soon. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. I hope this video found you well. Go out and play some Marvel.